Good evening, Coach. We'll start with an opening statement, and then we'll move on to questions.
Man, what a college baseball game. I just walked in. I was telling some of the guys, you're going to look up in a couple of years and see all those guys pitching in the big leagues. Just some special arms, special competitors on both sides. Their guy was phenomenal tonight. But really proud of Will Bednar and Landon Sims, the way they pitch. And you got to tip your hat to Scott Foxhall, our pitching coach. I kept telling him before the game when we saw the wind, I said the best thing to do is just strike them out. And he was able to do that. I really didn't make that comment, but he was. Our pitchers were phenomenal tonight.
Coach, why don't you talk about Will's performance tonight?
I thought Will was excellent. He was able to command the fastball throughout the zone. And, once he got that slider going, it was just hard to sit on either pitch. And he competed. He fell behind in some counts. He was able to get back in there and win counts when he fell behind, which I thought was huge as the day went on. And just gave them no momentum all day long. He was just really good.
So this is just one of those grinded out, kind of just tough it out ball games. I mean, this has kind of been typical for you guys all year long, just to kind of find a way to hold on late. Do you think this kind of speaks to your team's toughness?
I do. I mean, there was never a loose moment in the game to where you felt like, oh, we had this game. You're playing on the edge of your seat the whole game. And I feel like that's been our entire season for the most part. Every game is close and every game is tough. And man, the talent and the arms that were out there tonight, nobody could break away from each other.
David Murray.
Coach, this was a game, obviously, where runs are going to be hard to come by even with the win. Just talk about your offense, just scratching something out, starting out with a base on balls by Cameron James.
And I thought that, he threw some really good sliders to Cam in that at-bat that he laid off of. And he had chased the same pitch in the at-bat earlier. And then the huge hit by Luke. And then, just being able to put balls in play. I mean, I think, one of the positives, I joked our defense, I felt like they were the best part of the game tonight. But the reality, it was hard to play defense out there. Fly balls were landing. Cumbas's ball lands. Rowdy's ball lands. I mean, it was just tough to play D out there. And so, fortunately for us, we picked a night where we were going to strike out a lot of guys. And us putting balls in play, gave us that cushion.
Robbie Falk.
I'm unmuted, Chris.
I know. I said that for you, so.
Obviously, it's the numbers suggest that it's always big to get this first one. And just talk about how big it is now to move into the winner's bracket and to win a game like that, too, to hold on in the ninth inning and beat a really good team like that.
Well, you're just trying to get every win out here. I mean, we knew, obviously the numbers speak over the years that winning game one is huge and gives you the bigger advantage. But you're just trying to win games out here. And every opponent's tough. And we're going to play a great Virginia team here in a couple nights. And but that's why we use Landon the way we did. Usually we bridge him a little bit more. But we just felt like at that point of the game with the middle of the order up that he was the guy to go to. And he did a tremendous job.
Eddie Cahill.
What kind of development have you seen from Bednar to be able to pitch deeper into the game as the season's going on? I know he wasn't fully healthy at the start of the season, but what's allowed him to get deeper in the game like he did tonight?
Well, just early in the year, we had to get his arm in shape, and that was the biggest thing. Once his arm got in shape, he's pitched deep into a lot of games. In some games we didn't have to, so we felt like we could take him out and be okay. But he's one of the strongest players on our team if you put him in the weight room. So he has the ability to handle it, and he works, phenomenal worker. So what he does off the field between the starts is what makes him have the chance to throw that many pitches.
Joel Coleman.
Chris, I think it was at fifth inning that Will was out there, and there was a beach ball or something, and as they got it, he didn't even budge. Like he didn't move a muscle on the mound. I mean, he was just locked in. You've seen him have several performances that were really, really good, but from a mental standpoint, I mean, did you notice something different? Was he just locked in, maybe more so than ever today?
He was locked in. There's no doubt about it, just all night long. And, when he hit that groove about the third or fourth inning, he was as good as I've seen him. So I remember the pitch and the thing. I was hoping he would step off and just relax. But he was ready to pitch, and you got to be able to handle. We've talked all week about being highly focused, and I guess that's the epitome of being highly focused. He didn't come off that rubber, and he stayed locked in. But there's distractions out here. You got to handle things, and we did a really nice job tonight as a whole.
John Sokoloff.
Hey, Chris, John Sokoloff with WCBI in Columbus. I know you've been a part of a ton of games, and forget the combined strikeout record for both teams, but when was the last time you've been a part of a staff like yours that had that type of performance? And is that the best pitching performance you think you've seen your team have?
Yeah, that one goes. That's at the top of the list. I mean, I tell you, it was pretty impressive against a really good team. I mean, Texas is good. They've been hot lately. I grabbed Will after the game. I handed him a game ball, and I just told him, I said, man, that's one of the better performances ever here. I mean, 6 innings, 1 hit, 15 punchies. I mean, ain't many guys come here and done that because the talent level is so high. And this is the night the wind was blowing out. I mean, you know, some nights your pitchers are pitching great because the wind's blowing in, but tonight the wind's blowing out. He just didn't give them any swings all night long.
John Niatawa.
Yep, John Niatawa with the Omaha World Herald. Coach, could you just kind of take us through how you managed trying to make the decision of when to go to Landon Sims and you know, because Bednar was so good, it was like you probably didn't want to pull him if you didn't have to. How'd you make that decision?
So, well, we knew we had Landon ready for the last 9 outs, but we ran Will back out there. The 5th inning was, or I guess the 6th inning, Will was really good. And then we ran him back out in the 7th, the velo was down. You know, so he went from 92, 93 to about, he threw a couple 87s and an 88. Actually, we felt like he threw a really good 3-2 pitch, but he walked the guy. And then I'm trying to get to the top step and go out there, and my catcher goes ahead and calls a pitch, and that's how he goes 0-1. It's just hard to get everybody's attention out here. So Landon was lucky to come in and have an 0-1 count. But when we see stuff fall off, and then we felt like, you know, we may have used another arm, but being in the middle of the lineup there with those big power hitters, and those guys are really talented, we wanted Landon to pitch against their best.
Steve Robertson.
Chris, we talk about experience in Omaha being so valuable, but tonight it was a lot of your first-time guys kind of coming through. Brad Cumbus with a hit there. Cameron James starts a rally for you, and then, of course, Bednar and Sims. Obviously, you would love to have an experienced team. What does it say about the youth of this team to come up here and perform the way they did?
Yeah, they played with poise. I mean, we play in the SEC, and we play in as nice a park and crowds as you find. So there is a big deal about being in the Omaha, but we've been on this stage a bunch, and our kids are used to it. I was more worried about regionals and super regionals and the pressure of it. I thought our kids came out and played great. I'm sitting there in about the 6th or 7th inning, and Tanner Allen's on deck, and I just leaned over to him. I said, hey, you going to help us out at all tonight? And he just laughed, you know, because he's usually got 3 knocks and leading the way. And I just thought they pitched Tanner really well tonight. So for us to be able to win a game like that and have the young kids help, that was a huge night.
All right, we're going to go with 2 more questions. David Murray, you're first.
Coach, you made the joke about defense being the best part of the game, but you finally get some ground balls in the 9th inning. It would have been very easy for those guys after all the strikeouts to kind of lose focus, but they made the plays perfectly.
Yeah, if you're not on the field, I don't know if you realize the ball to Scotty DeBrule is like cap spinner, you know, so he had to like sit on it, which was a tough play, and it was nice to get a couple balls late in the game. And to throw that, I turned to Fox as soon as we made the out, and it was a slider. You know, we had 2-0 count on a guy, and Landon throws a really nice slider to get us out of that game. And just you know, it was great to see those guys. Lane Forsythe picked that ball up, threw a BB, and Scotty sat on that last one. So defense, we didn't have a lot of it, but when we needed it, we got it.
And our final question from Robbie Falk.
Coach, we joked with Will about the ice in his veins picture. You got a chance to do that the other day as well, but really that's kind of been how he's been all season long. Even in the games where he's been hit hard, it never seems like he's really been discouraged or anything like that. How has he been able to kind of maintain his composure out there and pitch like he has ice water in his veins?
It's just, you know, you look up and that's a baseball family. Dad's a coach, brother's pitching in the big leagues. He's been like that since he's been here. I mean, he's just a competitor. And we have a handful of those guys. We have some real alpha leaders in that clubhouse and the way they like to play the game. And you have to have it. And the biggest moment, you know, you're watching these guys, you know, play their best, which is a lot of fun as a coach.